Hey there, human beings! What's up? This is GattoPanceri 666 from Nanowar Of Steel, and this is a brand new episode of the GattoCast. So I hope you can hear me well. I always have problems with the connection, so please, if you can give me some feedback about the audio quality, I will be moderately happy about knowing whether you can hear me or not. So let me introduce you this very special episode of the GattoCast, which is dedicated to our new album, Italian Folk Metal. So Italian Folk Metal is an English name for an Italian album, because as you might have noticed from the title track, most of the songs are actually have been recorded in Italian. And so it's good that you can hear me. I'm very happy about this. And so the point of tonight's podcast is just to make a general introduction to this new album that we recorded with Nanowar Of Steel and give you some background information, some translations for the song titles, and something very general. There won't be too many spoilers, but it's going to be a general introduction to the album, so you can see what you would expect, and some comments on the guests as well. So I don't know if you had the chance to see it, but I guess most of you did by this time, because we've been spamming this cover artwork for a long time now. And so this is the album cover. So this is Italian Folk Metal. I'm sorry, I needed to share the full what's it called, the grand view, so it's my image viewer on Linux. So this is the cover artwork, and as you can see, there's the dwarf. It's our what's it called, it's like our icon. It's Garibaldi, as someone says. Yes, so we wanted to make something extremely Italian, and we got the Italian national hero Garibaldi. Actually, we disguised our icon as the Italian national hero. And so the goal of this album is to make some kind of mix of popular Italian music. By popular, I really mean pop, but I mean pop like as what has been popular in different parts of Italy and in different regions of Italy and different ages. So this is the again, this is just a general introduction, as most of the cover artworks that you might have seen from us in the past, especially if you remember the album, the last one, so the one before this one, that is the Stairway to Valhalla. We put a lot of references. We put a lot of references to each of the songs that is going to appear on the album, on each album cover. And so it's the same thing here. And I guess, I mean, the problem is that, of course, for many of you, it would be an issue to find out the references, because, again, the songs are in Italian, and these are mostly Italian references. And I know that many people here will think that it's a sort of stupid choice, maybe, for us to make like our first real album with a real label. To release it as an Italian album, basically, because as you can see from the track list, let me go to the track list. As you can see now, most of the titles of the song titles are in Italian, but that's what we wanted to do. So that's I'm sorry for all the people that want to understand the humor and the subtleties that are really Italian specific subtleties, but like, we want to make things that make us laugh. And we simply had too many ideas and too many jokes we wanted to make in Italian. We couldn't just keep them, like, for example, in Stairway to Valhalla album, we had one song that was the Operatore Ecologico in Italian. We couldn't simply keep it for one song per album. We really had too many ideas, and that's how we decided to switch, to make this. It might be one-off episode in our career, we don't know. I also think we owe a lot to our Italian fans that are the ones that follow, that have been pushing us so far through all these years, and we really owe a lot to them. And I think it's a good thing to make also things on a national level. We shouldn't. That's something that I always felt about Nanowar. We had more identities in languages and cultures, and that's. I mean, we made songs in other languages in the past, so. But of course, being Italian, the main one of the main identities is rooted in Italian. So if you want to make humor, humor in Italian have some specific notes and tones that cannot really be translated. So that's I would say that's the main reason why we had ideas that couldn't be translated. Actually, it was something that was ongoing also before Norwegian Reggaeton, before Napalm Deal's record, and it was something that we had in mind already. It's a long time we wanted to do this because that's what we did in the past as well. I guess most of you know that we have a lot of songs in Italian, Feudalissima Libertà, Barbagianni, for example. Well, Il Cacciatore della Notte, sorry. Il Cacciatore della Notte is a song that we always play abroad as well, and I think that it's also good sort of to educate the audience on some topics. Maybe that you can learn something new also while listening to the music. There are some ironic, there are some comedy things that are shared. Like that's sort of the point with our first single, Der Fluch des Captain Iglo, La Maledizione di Capitan Findus, because it was something we felt we could do in two languages. I mean, I lived in Germany, so I sort of knew about Captain Iglo. I knew about Fischstäbchen and this kind of stuff. So I felt I could translate. I could not really translate it, but I could move that transpose that sort of humor into German language as well. And that's the same thing. I mean, if you see here that we have a song in Spanish, it's the last one, which is called El Baile del Viejo que mira las obras, and it's referred. It's some kind of humor. Now I don't know if it exists in other places as well, but it's referred to the fact that in Italy and in Spain, old people are known to sit or stand by construction sites and stare at them the whole day. And there's whole meme pages and Instagram pages, websites that just collect this kind of material. And it's a meme in itself. It's something that has become really famous in Italy in the last years. And it's always been like that, but I guess the internet made this thing a meme, so it made it sort of famous. So, right, let me start with an introduction to this album. Again, it's Italian folk metal, and the main idea is, as I said, we don't mean folk. Like usually in metal music, when people think about folk music, you might think about some kind of Irish or, I don't know, Scottish, like you think about this kind of folk in a sense that you think about bagpipes, violins, and some kind of very fast melodies, which doesn't mean we didn't use bagpipes and violins in this song, but it's our idea of folk is more related to the actual root of the word, so about popular music, so people's music in a way. And so what we wanted to do was to take what Italian people have been listening to through the last 100 of years. So what was the most popular kinds of music that have been listened to by other Italians, and put them into metal. So this first single that you heard is, as many people remarked already, it's kind of Hailstorm, so it's a kind of traditional folk metal in a way, and it's good like that. It's like pirate metal, folk metal, whatever you want to call it. It's it needed to be the first single. It needed to be like some kind of pirate song. So in a sense, it should be, and it is like traditional folk metal. But the folk element here is in the lyrics. So in the sense that we refer to this Capitan Findus, which is a sort of national hero in Italy, at least. I guess like every child in Italy and Germany as well, as far as I know, grew up on eating Fischstäbchen, so fish sticks. And yeah, so that's the whole general idea behind the album. It's folk in the sense of Italian themes and Italian music. So it's both in the lyrics and in the music. We want to refer to Italian folk traditions in our way. So wait, let me skim through the comments. Sorry, just let me reply to this. So the only thing that is a bit sad is that I don't understand all the jokes in Italian. Other than that, I think there should be more music in languages other than English. And this is something that we like. I mean, we like to do jokes in English, but again, as I said, there's many things that would not work in English. There are jokes that would not work in Italian that we could just, we could just do in English, for example. Because of course, when you parody the power metal scene, most of the power metal scene is in English, and so you need to play along with those words and those lyrics. And so, of course, I feel that many jokes can only work in English, but there's other comedy themes that only work, or word plays that work in other languages. So I'm all for, variety of languages. I guess, in general, Nanowar of Steel we'll try to keep our international vein like as much as we can. But again, we really felt we needed to do this album, and it's sort of a surprise, I guess, for our audience, also including our Italian audience. But all right, so I guess I did a very long introduction, but let's move into the meat of the album. And so the first song is entitled Requiem per Gigi Sabani in Re minore. And so it's a requiem. It's a sad song, and I guess most of the Italian people know who he is. Gigi Sabani, who he was. He was an Italian comedian, an actor. He was actually also a singer at the beginning of his career. He died in 2007, and so this introduction to the album is called Requiem per Gigi Sabani Re minore. It's like a sad song. It's a requiem. It's like the how would you say? It's like the funeral song. So it's like the funeral soundtrack for this actor. And the reason why we choose Gigi Sabani is I don't know. It's completely random. You can look for reasons behind that, but by the way, I think it was someone noticing that in the album cover there was a Gigi Sabani reference, and that's here. It's in the grave. So that's actually the first reference of the album cover to the actual track list, so to the actual song being played in the album. All right, so this is Italian folk metal. That's the first song. It's an introduction that would work in any language. So that's something you can enjoy even if you don't know who Gigi Sabani is and if you don't understand the lyrics. Anyway, let's move to the second song. It's called L'assedio di Porto Cervo. So it's called The Siege of Porto Cervo. It's by the title you can understand maybe there's some reference to Glory Hammer, and there's a siege. Porto Cervo is a famous city in Sardinia. So Sardinia. It's like one of these places where all the VIPs go. So the major celebrities in Italy go there for holiday. So during the summer season. And this song has a very, very special featuring. Francesco Paoli, he's the singer and guitar player, a former drummer of Flash God Apocalypse. And he's like a great guy. We recorded the song. I think if someone might remember that we posted a song together back in September. So this is going to be actually the first Nanowar song with actual scream and growling vocal tracks. So it's a very good mix. Again, there's no spoilers in this description of the album, but again, you can just look at the guest that's involved here, and you can guess it's gonna be a very original song, at least as far as our style is concerned. And so yeah, expect something we never did before. And again, there's Glory Hammer references. It's not so clear unless you're Italian, because then it's a siege some random place in India, you know, like the Glory Hammer references to random places in Scotland. All right, so that's the first song. Second song, actually third song, if you don't mind the intro. It's called La Maledizione di Capitan Findus, which I guess by now you have listened to. You've been listening to already for a couple of days. If you haven't listened to it, then shame on you. Shut down this video and go there, watch it right now and increase our views because we need more views to get more money. But yeah, you know that. So it's basically Captain Birdseye is the international Capitan Findus, and that's of course we made the German version as well, which happens to be in the end. It's track number 12, as you can see in the track list. All right, so this was number 3. Number 4 is called La Marcia su Piazza Grande. So this means it's the march on Piazza Grande. Piazza Grande is like big square means. It's like a big square. It's just a general name, but it's a reference again to something Italian. I could be more specific, but let me just say that there is a reference to a famous Italian TV program, which is called Piazza Grande, I guess. I'm not so much into Italian TV, to be honest, but I guess that's it. By the way, there's a question here. Hey Gatto, apart from the growl on the second track, is there some gent into that folk metal album? I won't dig much into the styles, but there's no gent. The growl is actually, it's not in a, again, the specific, every song we try to sneak into it some kind of typical element. So the second song also has some very weird elements, and it's not gent, we try to be more creative in a way. It's again, there's some kind of very fast and aggressive parts, of course, because there's Francesco Paoli and we couldn't but do that, but in general you should expect something weird. All right, that was number 4. So the march on Piazza Grande. And so march, you can expect some kind of military reference to that, and I won't tell you more, but that's the idea of the song. It's going to be some kind of military reference in the lyrics, maybe in the music, and you can expect anything. Number 5 is called La Mazurka del Vecchio che guarda i cantieri. All right, so just one thing. Finally, some Sabaton. No, it's not everything that's military. It's not Sabaton. Military songs existed way before Sabaton. References to war existed way before Sabaton. Again, there's no spoiler here. The only thing I can tell you, don't expect anything Sabaton in this song. Anyway, so number 5 is called La Mazurka del Vecchio che guarda i cantieri, and it means the mazurka of the old man who is watching the construction site. And mazurka is an Italian, it's like from central north Italy, mostly. Kind of dance, kind of traditional music. And so we tried to merge that with metal. I think the result was very good, but of course I was I was involved in the writing process and I couldn't say otherwise. And again, this idea of the old man watching construction sites, I am not sure that everyone is. I'm not sure it's something that happens everywhere, but for sure it happens in Italy, it happens in Spain, and it's a meme. It's a very popular theme on the internet, talking about old men watching Can you hear me now? It should be back at some point. I think. I mean, if okay. No. Oh, it should be working now, isn't it? All right. So sorry for the inconvenience. My microphone just died, and I had to reboot it. Anyway, let's not get sad about this small inconvenience, and let's move on. I was talking about track number 5, which is La Mazurka del Vecchio che guarda i cantieri. So it's the mazurka of the old man watching the construction sites. And again, as I said, the construction sites in Italy are a big thing. Old men watching construction sites in Italy are a huge thing. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, maybe I can share. I don't have pictures ready with you. Okay, let me just. I think it should be better now. Is it okay? Stupid microphone. Can you hear me now? It should be better. Okay, I just cut. I have no feedback. I'm sorry. Because the other microphone just died and too low now. Oh, what the fuck. Should be working now. I put it somewhere between where it was 5 minutes ago. Okay. Okay, sorry. I'm really sorry the microphone died, but let me check again. Audio, is it working now? Should be working now. Come on. It was 30%, now it's 24%. Okay. All right. Anyway. Sorry for this inconvenience. Mazurka is Polish, yes, but it's like a style. Okay, let me wrap this on. Let me start again because I need to edit this then for the actual. Fuck. Is it okay now? Old man starting muted videos, yeah. I don't know why this. Okay. All right. So let me start again from La Mazurka del Vecchio che guarda i cantieri. So it's called the Mazurka of the old man watching the construction sites, and it's a song dedicated to the old men that watch construction sites, which is a huge thing in Italy. So if you just Google Vecchio che guarda i cantieri, it's a huge thing. It's a huge thing. Let me just share the screen with you. Let me share this tab. And so I hope you can see this. This is a typical thing that happens in Italy. It's, you see old men staring everywhere. This is Bologna, I guess. This is Donald Trump, but anyway, there's meme everywhere. They are all over the place, and it's the same thing. It's the same thing in Spain, as far as I know. And they actually got a name. They got a word that defines them. It's called umarel, as everyone is writing. Is you see, it's umarel. That's the actual. Someone actually created a word from. I think it's from the Emilian dialect. From Emilia Romagna anyway. But it's now a thing in Italy. And you see them. They are everywhere. They got their bows. There's just so many pictures. It's just such a funny internet meme. And so. Let me stop and let me share again the screen. Again, as I was saying, this is a song. It's dedicated to this one, The nice thing about this song is that we got a very special guest from the region where the Umarel word comes from, and it's Alessandro Conti. If you don't know him, is singer of Luca Turilli's Rhapsody. He recorded an album with Fabio Lione. He's actually a very famous metal singer. If you don't know him, then you're not into metal, and then you're not my friend. Let me answer to Elizabeth. She asked if I'm worried that one day I might find fascination with construction sites. I already find fascination with construction sites. I'm an old person inside. I like being old inside and outside, and it's a very good thing. It's a very nice thing to be. I'm getting used to being old because that's what eventually I will become, and it's better to get used to something before it actually happens. And so, is also the singer of Trick or Treat. He's a singer of many bands. I was just mentioning the Rhapsody related one because, we got this kind of special relationship, maybe I would call it that way, with Rhapsody of Fire. So, anyway, so that was as far as the Mazurka is concerned. So if you want to have some feeling about the Mazurka, then you should listen to, you can just Google Mazurka and listen to whatever comes out, and it's a good thing to listen to. So that's track number 5. Track number 6 is La Polenta Tarana Rock, featuring our hero Giorgio Mastrota. So I guess that pretty much by now, like pretty much all fans of Nanowar of Steel, even those outside of Italy, should know who he is, Giorgio Mastrota. If you don't know, maybe I will make a special GattoCast episode dedicated to Giorgio Mastrota for dummies and for foreigners. And so this song actually features Giorgio Mastrota. So he's singing on this track. And we are so proud of having him on this album. And now, there's a couple of things I might tell you about this song, but I guess most of you already heard the melody, because for those of you who weren't following us last year, what we did exactly 1 year ago during the pandemic, we made this Turmentone challenge, and so we had the fans voting for the song title on our Facebook group and on Instagram. And so we did 2 rounds of voting. Then the first one was dedicated to Italian song titles, and the second one was dedicated to English song titles. So the one that won the voting in Italy was the Polenta Tarana Rock. And now, to be honest, it's a very subtle joke, because Polenta Tarana is a known dish in Italy, but not everywhere. So people in Rome, and I think like south of Lombardy probably, are not so well aware of this dish. So the wordplay is Tarana Rock, of course, and so Polenta Tarana Rock is like a sort of Viking dish from northern Italy. And so that's the wordplay here. And actually, we had the sort of a hard time understanding it, because, of course, as people coming from the center south of Italy, we were not really aware of this Polenta Tarana, to be completely honest with you. But eventually, the song won, and I think the once you get to know the dish, and which is very tasty, by the way, then you get the joke, and it's a hilarious joke. Now, I'm sorry, I forgot who was the proponent of this title, because, of course, we had fans, like everyone was proposing his title and was getting votes, and I forgot who proposed this one, so I'm really sorry if I cannot mention the one who came up with the idea. But it was an idea that was actually floating around. It's not the first time I hear this thing. I heard this title being proposed to us. So again, for this one, expect something related to the north of Italy. You can check out Polenta Tarana, which is written like Polenta Tarana Rock without rock. And then you can get a feeling of the region where this polenta has been produced, and which is also the region where Giorgio Mastrota lives, and it's a very nice coincidence. So that's why we wanted him on this song singing. And there's more surprises related to this song, but If you look at our YouTube channel, you will find the actual. You can find the recording of the streaming that we are doing while writing the song. We actually wrote the lyrics for this song. Most of the lyrics of these songs were written in collaboration with all our fans. So our fans connected. We are live streaming the writing process of a Nanowar song, and so many of the jokes, I would say, like most of the jokes, and most of the what's most of the jokes were meant to be. I mean, were written actually by the fans. So it's a very nice thing. It's a cooperative. It's a work of art that came up with all our friends, and I'm still thankful for having such a nice community behind. That was really really nice. So keep in mind, like most of those lyrics were written by Nanowar of Steel in cooperation with the fans. It was a back and forth. There was some feedback live, and it was really really nice. And there is also reference to Cedrata Tassoni inside the song, if you remember. We kept it. Um, so that's one of the highlights of the album. Scugnizi of the Land of Fires. All right, so Scugnizi is it's a Napolitan word, I would say, for guys. It's like for boys or something like that. And so the thing is that this Scugnizi of the Land of Fires is a song which is dedicated to Naples. Some of you might know we have a sort of conflicting history with Naples to the first songs we recorded, like Master of Pizza and Giocatrue. Whatever it was, this song, I think it was actually it's a song that was written in Napolitan language. We were consulting with people from Naples. I'm saying Napolitan language and not dialect because it's really different from Italian. I mean, we struggled a lot writing the lyrics for this song because there's a lot of verbs and there's a lot of words and the grammar as well changes a little bit. It changes quite substantially from Italian. So there was a substantial translation work for this song. And again, just expect something that is mixing the typical music from Naples, which is the neomelodico, and metal. So it's going to be something very, very new, maybe. I'm not aware of many metal bands playing neomelodico metal, so playing folk music from the Naples region and mixing it with metal. So let me answer to Elizabeth again because she's asking. Nanowar jokes, I thought she was serious. My husband now worships Odin and IKEA. But that's a serious thing. Oh, wait. The religious part in Nanowar songs, when we are talking about IKEA and Odin, that was extremely serious and we really meant it. And that's something we do. And people that had the chance to join us during the Eat and Greet tour, they know we mean it. I mean, it's something that we take seriously. And all right, so let me just finish here because otherwise I'm going to spoil you, to make too many spoilers about what's going on, what's going to happen into this Scugnizi of the Land of Fires. But again, this is one of the proper folk parts meant as popular traditional Italian music mixed with metal. Next song, Rosario, featuring Jade. Jade is the singer of Frozen Crown. You should know Frozen Crown by now. They're one of the emerging, one of the most promising Italian power metal bands. And it was so nice to have her singing here because she has such a great voice. She's just such a nice person, and we had a really great interaction with them. We didn't really see them live recording the things. We didn't have any person-to-person interaction because of COVID, of course. It was very hard to travel around. But they were really nice, and they were really nice with us. And this song is Rosario. I cannot tell you much, but you can think about roses, and there's a girl singing. So this is going to be a ballad, and And that's it. We won't tell you much more about this. But this is going to be the ballad on the album. So played them a few times on the radio. Oh yeah, nice, nice. No, Frozen Crown, they're a very, very promising band, and they are very nice people. So kudos to them. And again, let me move on. Il Signore degli Anelli dello Stadio. All right. So this is another. This is probably the song I like the most on the album. It's one of the funny. I think it's probably the funniest one with the funniest lyrics. It's a mixture, and I mean the title is "The Lord of the Rings of the Stadium." So it's a mixture of The Lord of the Rings and football. And I'm not saying anything more, but you know, like stadiums have rings where people sit, and but yeah, so that's the wordplay. That's a joke. It's not a very clever one, but trust me, the song is going to be a hit. Gabon Zorobo featuring Dr. Pira. Now, I don't think many people know Dr. Pira, not even in Italy. I mean, he's pretty famous. He's like he's not like an he has his niche. I would say he's not like a mainstream comic illustrator, but he's one of the. I mean, for me, he's the greatest. No, hands down. He's like the greatest artist in. He draws comics. He's like into illustration, drawings, animation. He's the funniest one by far. It's like my idol, and like to be honest, he might be one of the influences behind the reasons why I created Nanowar back then, 17 years ago. Because back then it was, I remember in 2001, 2002, I was stumbled upon his website, so 1 or 2 years before encountering Nanowar. And Dr. Pia was already publishing comics on the internet, and they were the most hilarious thing I've ever I ever found on the internet. To be honest, back then, 20 years ago, I was watching his website and was like astonished. It was the funniest thing ever. It's very, again, it's very specific. That's one of the reasons why it's not so mainstream, I would say, in Italy. Is that it's very kind of nonsense sense of humor, but that's extreme, and I wish like people abroad could understand him, because it's hands down for me is my favorite artist ever. Like in illustration and animation, comics world is like the best. You should sorry, check him out if you didn't. All the Italian people here, they should definitely check him out. So we wrote this song with him. Gabon Zorobo is one of the heroes, so he creates, you know, lots of characters that eventually end up in his stories, of course, in his comics. And the nice thing about this Gabon Zorobo is he's a sort of anti-superhero. If you read his stories, it's always about him bombing some children, destroying some hospitals, but still it's like he's presented like a good superhero. So like there's like a contradiction. He's a good superhero, but he ends up killing innocent people. And if I tell you the story like this, it says, okay, it's boring and it's shit. But it's very hard to convey this kind of humor, I guess. But the idea here, actually, on the music side, is that we try to parody this kind of children's songs, like the cartoon songs. You know, everyone grew up with some cartoon, watching, you know, animated. Movies and cartoons, and they had their whole soundtracks and songs, and so this is a take on those on that kind of genre. So we had so many robots. I don't know how many other countries apart from Italy, and I know also Spain, we got a lot of robots coming from Japan, so there were a lot of robots themed cartoons. And audio is gone. What happened? Seriously? It should be working. Can you hear me? It should be working. So they were commenting on bombing children. Yeah, sorry, it's like NATO. And this is sorry, no, because someone said like they okay, okay, audio is gone, so that's what they said. Anyway, so that's the idea. This song is it's about some robo, and it's going to be some parody on robot themed songs of our childhood, which is again we consider this to be some kind of folk, in a sense that it's something popular that everyone grew up with, everyone listened to. So in this sense, it's like some kind of popular music. All right, so this is the Gabon Zorobo. Number 11, Sulle aliquote della libertà, featuring the Rumpels. So the Rumpels are a great folk, they're actual folk band. Actually, they played in more songs. They have some of their band members played in other songs as well. We couldn't just feature them on every song they played because they added some accordion. They played violins and what's it called? Yeah, violins and accordions, as far as I remember. On most of I mean, on all the songs where you will be able to hear violins and accordions, of course. So this was as far as the Rumpels are concerned. I won't tell you much about. I think it's in the description, so I can tell you something about this music style. Music style is pizzica metal. So pizzica is a very special kind of style from Puglia, so from the south of Italy, and I think the mixture is just great. This is musical. As far as music is concerned, this is my favorite song in the album. It's a very very nice song, and Sulla liquida della libertà means on the what do we call it, on the income brackets of freedom. So it's an Italian joke because ali means wings, so it should be like on the wings of freedom, but on the aliquote means on the tax brackets of of freedom. So it's some joke about if you remember Tooth Fairy. This is something similar in the sense that there will be a lot of talking about finance and economics from the accounting point of view, but there's a plot twist in the song, and you will listen to it. I hope I will have time to make good translations for all the songs, so even people who don't understand them can sort of follow the themes of the song. Of course, again, as I said, there's going to be a lot of jokes, as you can see here. Aliquote. It's very hard to translate it, but yeah. So Sull'aliquote della libertà, and that's the last song, the proper song of the album. And then you see there's Der Fluch des Captain Iglo. It's a bonus track, so they're asking more about mehr über Vorteilspackungen. Es tut mir leid, ich habe nichts mehr über Vorteilspackungen zu sagen. Ich habe schon alles gesagt. Es ist genug, würde ich sagen, habe ich nicht mehr zu sagen darüber. Aber vielleicht in der Zukunft, wer weiß, kann ich noch mehr vielleicht über Fischstäbchen sagen. Ja, okay. Aber trotzdem. So, there's a comment about Sulla Liga della Libertà, and it says, it smells like Berlusconi. Yeah, sort of. Sort of. Okay, so, wait, so there's a comment here, Carl is saying aliquote, is you can use it in English. I haven't heard of it, but for sure that the wordplay doesn't work, because here is between aliquote and ali, and ali is wings in English, so there's no like wings, I don't know, wings quote. No, it doesn't work like that, unfortunately. So, they're asking me, which one do you prefer? Personally, it's so hard to choose what a dilemma. So I would say, I don't know, music-wise, my favorite one is Sulla Liga della Libertà. And like for the lyrics, not the lyrics, but the jokes and the idea of the joke that behind, I would say the Il Signore degli Anelli dello Stadio is the one I prefer. But I think, I mean, we tried, as you might have noticed, like It's not that I want to brag about how cool we are, but we really put a lot of effort in every album to try to make something that doesn't sound the same all the time. So to make very diverse album style-wise, and try to put as many different styles all together. I don't know. For us, it's we just do whatever we like. So we rather do something that has more diversity in it, and you don't get bored after listening 10 times to the same song. And so we try to give a like to keep some kind of style in the lyrics and some kind of style in our comedy, but music wise we try to make something very different. Let me who knows, maybe or will you ever do a featuring with Babascura or Adrian Fartade? I know Adrian is a cool guy. We tried to make something together actually, to talk about science and astronomy, but it never worked out. I don't know if it's gonna happen in the future, but to be honest, I don't think so. It's a very he's very busy. We are very busy. It's always a mess to make these things happen. So I'm not sure. I don't think so. But Barbascura, we don't know him personally. I think we would get in touch and do something. I don't know. We are open for collaboration, so we would never say no a priori to anyone. Um, so let me finish with the last two songs, which again they are. I wouldn't call them translations. I would say it's a transposition of the idea of the joke into another language, because a translation you would use maybe the same kind of structure in irony. Would say it means you would use the same kind of um, the same kind of jokes, but it's different. Like when you need to translate the joke, it usually doesn't work. So you need to think about a different jokes that works along the same lines. So Der Flucht des Captain Iglo, you have seen it, and for those of you who are lucky enough to speak both German and Italian, we might have noticed that the lyrics are not exactly the same. I mean, the theme is the same, but the jokes and the wordplays are different. And so that's the only way you can make jokes work, I guess. In my opinion, it's the only way you can transpose it, you can adapt it in a way that it works with different words, but the concept in the end might be also a little bit different. But in the end, the core of the joke is the same. And so, yeah, for example, there's Klassenkampf. So in Italian we say Pangrattato e Libertà, and in German it's Knusperbrösel und Klassenkampf. And the thing is that it couldn't be like Knusperbrösel und Freiheit. It's just good. It doesn't work with that kind of. It needed to be something else. It needed to be adapted to the metric of the song. So it had to be a different word. And so I liked Klassenkampf, and that's why we put Klassenkampf. At some point, I was thinking about making Captain Iglo or sort of a DDA, high-ranking officer, or so like the Marine admiral, and making some kind of DDR-themed jokes like Die Vorteilspackung hat immer recht, or things like that. Yeah, you cannot say Kriegsmarine in Italian the same way. By the way, there's a thing. The way it's Kriegsmarine is pronounced, it's Kriegsmarine. There's a Sabaton reference. It's a very subtle one. I try to pronounce it the Sabaton way. I don't know if anyone got it or just got hidden by the fact that I'm not a native speaker, and so it might be a normal mistake. But die Partei, yeah, die Vorteilspackung. Die Vorteilspartei hat immer recht. Anyway, to wrap this up, you know Der Flucht des Captain Iglo. It's gonna be a bonus track on the album, which just means, like the official album is the 11 tracks in Italian, but it's gonna be on the album anyway. Just I think for us it's very important to convey the idea that an album is like it's like a book. You have some chapters, and that's what the main story is all about. Then you might have an appendix, and it's still in the book. You can still read it, but it's not the core. It's not for us. It's sort of a concept album, and so again, as I said, we put a lot of effort in trying to make this album diverse in many different styles and drawing from many different lyrical and musical style from Italy. So that's Italy centric and that's Italian centered. And I'm sorry for all those who won't be able to understand it and all the jokes and the references, but we'll make an effort to translate it. If you're interested, of course, that's something I love to do. Of course, um, I like it when people appreciate the fact that we put a lot of effort in what we are doing. So that's number 12. Number 13, El Baile del Viejo que mira las horas. And so, by the way, I didn't do that, but it's something I definitely have to do before moving into the next song. I need to talk Uli for helping me with Der Fluch des Captain Niglo, because she's a Patreon subscriber. She's one of our greatest fans. She's following us since more than a couple of years, but she came to a lot of concerts and we became good friends. And I really must thank her for the support and the help and for everything. And she really helped me with going through the lyrics, like making them more German as far as possible. Of course, they needed to sound with this metric, so within this magical lyrics, it was Italian based, so they needed to start from there. And but she helped me a lot also with the singing. She did a lot of corrections. So again, thanks a lot, Uli. And I needed to do this publicly, and we'll get to due reward for as soon as possible. No, it's gonna be a mess. I'm sorry. Like in this album, we had so many collaborations, we had so many featurings. We couldn't, like when we released it, we couldn't really tag everyone. There's an infinite list. I think we'll make some posts and talk about the guys, everyone who helped us in the production, in the mixing, in the mastering. We're going to give due credit to everyone, but we cannot just do it all at once, because it was a huge work, and that's it. So let's move to the last track, El Baile del Viejo que mira las horas. It's a song in Spanish, and again, since in Spain they also have this myth of old people watching the construction site. Again, it was very easy to translate, to adapt the joke, and I got some help there from Spanish friends. I don't know if they're connected, but they're patrons as well, and they're Clara and Iago. They're two friends of us from Madrid that also helped us with organizing the Spanish tour we played last year, and so we got some support from them. And again, kudos and acknowledgements and thanks a lot. We want to just give recognition to those friends. That's it as far as the tracklist is concerned. I wanted to answer to a couple of questions that were pretty interesting, and I forgot who, but anyway, they were asking about other singles. Of course, there will be other singles. If you see, that doesn't depend on us. If you just look at what other bands with Napalm Records are doing, that's a typical pattern. You release an album, there's a single, there's 2, 3, 4 singles, and then you get the album out. So we're gonna release it on the 2nd of July. We already have a couple of ideas for the videos. I mean, we have lots of ideas for the videos. There are budget problems involved, to be honest. Shooting videos is not cheap, and Napalm Record doesn't have infinite amounts of money, so we have to deal with limited resources, and we need to prioritize things. And but there will be other videos for sure. We're working on them, and there's problems with COVID as well. There's not with COVID restrictions. So I'm so sorry that we disappointed all those who expected the Frolini con le uova song, or those who expected the Plumber, or the other pop songs. One day we might talk about them and do some kind of special episode on what happened with the pop stuff. But I think that's it. I think we can wrap this up. If you don't have any last question on the album, I hope you liked this introduction to the song. I hope you will buy the album, because remember, the more you buy the album, the more money we will get and the better videos we will be able to make. So it's up to you. But yeah, this was lame, but I'm sorry, I needed to do this to do the promotion for the album and the t-shirts and all the kind of merchandise we have there for this album cycle. And thanks a lot for following. Thanks a lot. Remember, the GattoCast is an independent podcast now. It's running on the Nanowar channel for tonight, being a very Nanowar specific topic. But in general, if you're interested, I'm talking about a large number of different topics on the GattoCast, and it's you can find it on Spotify, you can find on Apple Podcasts, you can find it wherever you want on all major podcast platforms. And I already recorded a number of episodes on astronomy, on languages, on COVID restrictions, and my take on the current status. Scientific take. I mean, I try to talk about scientific issues as well as language, as well as whatever comes to my mind. So it's very. I'm sorry, it's not a very consistent podcast as far as the themes go. It's just whatever comes to my mind, then I go and talk about it. It's on YouTube as well. You can find it on Nanowar. Some of the episodes are on Nanowar Of Steel channel. Some of them are on my private channel, GattoPanceri 666. And that's it. So before I wrap up, for those who forgot, sorry, because there's a question and about this album, and so before wrapping this up, let me answer to this. I don't know if this is a stupid question. Why did you decide to go mostly Italian after an English album? As I said, probably missed it, but the main idea is so there are two very important things. First of all, is that we do what we like and what we want and what makes us laugh. And the second thing is that we had some very good ideas for very good metal songs in Italian. Like, we thought it was worth publishing them, and we said, okay, let's do it now. And this is something that Neighbor knew already. We had this in mind already since a long time. We wanted to do that. Why not? It's good. I think it's good, to make different things, and it's good to challenge your audience. I know some of our foreign audience might not like this move, and I understand it. Just keep this album and we'll listen to the next one. There will be a lot of things in English. So, but for us, it's important to do whatever we like. So we had ideas that worked in Italian, and we had to do them in Italian, and we had to record an Italian album. And it had to be like this. And Nabom agreed, so why not? Anyway, so thanks a lot again for being with me tonight. Thanks a lot for supporting Nanowar Of Steel, and see you in the future for the next GattoCast episodes.